So you receive an invitation. That means play. Your choice of mouse is damn important, since only you can satisfy. It's time to XTRFY. Man, XTRFY deserves some credit for this one, the M4 RGB. What an amazing entry into this very exciting yet competitive mice segment. This is now in my top 3 gaming mice in my entire mouse collection because it fits my grip and playstyle perfectly. We've all been there, looking at our RAM thinking, what a weakling. Well, no longer. Introducing XTRFY M by Thermaltake, the toughest RAM around. With a discreet built-in logo and premium heat spreaders design, the toughest addressable LED system with super brightness, compatibility with all the usual motherboard software, even Razer Chroma, and voice control through Amazon Alexa. Available in the toughest capacities of 16 GB per kit with speeds between 3000 and 4400 MHz. Consider the XTRFY M RGB, linked below. Alright, so the price is bang on at $59 for the black model and $5 extra for the other 4 color options, with this retro style being my favorite. I'm not sure how popular the blue and pink models will be, and notice there is no glossy version available, but hopefully this sets off a trend so we can see more fun color options in the future from other brands. I do love the included keycaps, one gray GG and the other color matched piece with the XTRFY shine through. These are not PBT, but I appreciate the value add. The see-through shell is nothing new obviously. The hole punch design gives us a 69 gram body that isn't the lightest on the block, but the ergonomic advantage is what will sell this thing. The ambient spill on the inside looks quite unique, plus the XTRFY text is a nice Easter egg, and the front LED illuminates the surface too. Having all 5 mice on hand lets me test for quality consistency, as previous batches were exhibiting a lot of creaking when you were flexing the body. 4 of the models are perfectly fine on mine, and only the retro style, the one I'm using, exhibits a lot of creaking. It's the worst copy out of all 5. It seems the left button on all mice has a bit of play, while the right button stays put. This doesn't affect gameplay in any way, but it's still worth mentioning. The cable is probably the weakest feature here. The sleeve is not as flexible as the competition, and there is a tiny thickness difference between the colors, although it's nice that the cable is color matched to the body itself. Now, the one thing that separates this mouse versus everything else that we've looked at is a completely driverless approach. It's a true plug and play, which is kind of refreshing, and I don't care about creating macros on my mouse. So you can cycle between 8 DPI profiles with the button at the bottom. All are color coded. I play at 400 DPI, so for me this is perfect. You can change the polling rate with another slider at the bottom, and you cycle between colors and effects with a button combo. It's a true set and forget approach. I appreciate the basics, and the only thing that's missing here that would be normally found on mice with software is some form of surface tuning that lets you customize liftoff distance. But here the M4 does not jump around when it's being placed down on the surface after a strong flick or being picked up around the mouse mat. The liftoff distance is pretty low by default. The feet are 100% PTFE with a replacement set included in the box. The glide is smooth but not as good as the Razer Viper or the Model O. And the reason why this thing is in my top 3 now is because of the shape. It's like a more ergonomic and smaller rival 310 that I used for years. Love the curvature for the thumb, and the right side is perfectly shaped to support my ring and pinky fingers. The top hump is not too aggressive, and it's well suited for my hybrid grip. Plus the more angular and lower front section is just more comfortable to grip versus the Model O or the Razer Viper. I also feel like you can claw this one easily. The scroll wheel is awesome with grippy texture and lots of control with muted scroll steps. The primary triggers are crispy and fast. Side buttons are tactile with a soft ending, but have more pre-travel than any of my other mice in my collection. And combine all that with a performance sensor, the 3389, we have a winning package that has been an absolute pleasure to game with. It's because of this mouse I've been training more and getting back into CSGO, just feeling more comfortable with spray control, finding my targets, flicking around, and after a bit of a hiatus, it's nice to get back into shape with acceptable performance. At least what I would consider to be acceptable. The XTRFY M4 RGB honestly surprised me. I did not expect to like the shape so much. I thought it'd be too small for me, given it's an ergo mouse, but for my hand size, it fits me perfectly. The cable is the only weakness point here that could be slightly softer, especially compared to the competition, but with the bungee, it's not a problem. Highly recommend this one. Thanks so much for watching. Check out links for all the mice in the description below, including my top 5. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.